Hello, hello, I'm Mbaya. Thank you very much for joining me, as today I'm taking my very first look at Dead State on the PC. Dead State is said to be a narrative-driven tactics game in the like of XCOM or Fallout. So, let's see what's in store for us. Okie dokie, character creation. Let's go for a male. And the portrait selection custom is coming soon, so let's see what we've got to select. Okie dokie. You'd think the portrait selection would probably change the defaults, but it doesn't. That's a bit disappointing. Everyone's wearing glasses. There we go, that'll do. Okay, let's carry on. Do you want to use a pre-made character or create a custom one? Let's go for preset at the moment. Right, let's go for Hunter, I think. I could have my own survivalist show on cable. And I'm assuming that's the back button, which isn't showing up. Which, again, is another slight bug. Okay, so we have our stats. Strength determines how physically strong the player is, determines carry weight, and contributes to melee damage. Agility, how nimble the character is, determines combat evasion, used to derive total action points, of which I have 9. Vigor, how healthy a player is, determines total hit points, grants additional armor class points at rank 4 and above, of which I am 4. And Perception, how keen-eyed and quick to react the player is, determines initiative, contributes to hitting distant range targets. Let's see what skills we have. Melee, how well the character deals with close enemies, less AP required for melee strikes, more damage caused in melee strikes, greater ability to bash objects. Okay. Ranged, how well the character deals with distant enemies, increased accuracy, damage, critical hit chance, increased range, faster reload time. Seem to be 3 on that, okay. Leadership, how well the character is able to get others to follow their example. Dialogue skill, ranges from reasoned to intimidating. Increases effectiveness of allies in combat. It's handy, of which I have none. Negotiation, how well the character convinces others to share their point of view. Dialogue skill, ranges from understanding to conniving, reduces morale decay. Medical, how well the character deals with healing the human body. Less AP required for using healing items, more health gained from healing items, and can heal wounds on self and allies. Science, how well the character can reuse elements to create new items, crafting better armor, new ammo, new thrown weapons, crafting medical supplies, adds contact poison to weapons. Because that's what all scientists do. Survival, how well the character survives in an outdoor environment, fast travel on the area map, harvesting on the area map, actively avoid random encounters. Mechanical, how well the character works with items with moving parts, lockpicking ability, upgrades to shelter, and upgrades to weapon. Okay, let's get started. You counted yourself lucky to have gotten on the plane. There had been rumours of some kind of pandemic rapidly spreading across the world, and people had been starting to get nervous. Flights were getting overbooked, delayed repeatedly, or outright cancelled. But you were in the air, buckled safely in your seat, enduring some light turbulence as you idly watched a newscast on the current world crisis, when you heard a commotion from the front. Someone had staggered on the plane. You heard them struggling with their luggage and that wet, hacking cough for most of the flight. After the cough stopped, something started to happen up front. You heard a flight attendant scream and utter chaos break out in the front. People jumped out of their seats to try to help, but it seemed to cause the situation to get worse. There was screaming, yelling for help, and the distant sound of someone banging on the cockpit. Then the horrible feeling of your stomach dropping as the plane tilted downwards, the scattered thoughts that accompany a fear of death. An awful cacophony of metal, earth twisting around each other filled your ears, and then there was only darkness and fire. All very ominous. Welcome to Dead State. The world here is complex and dangerous, so let's take things simply at first. Some cute little fire effects, and I'm not quite sure what they're doing over there. Munching. Okay. That's not the greatest tooltip you ever want to read when starting a completely new game. If you ever get lost, simply save and exit the game. That's brilliant. For now, try to focus and get your bearings. Use the middle mouse button to zoom in and out. Hold it to move, rotate or tilt to the camera. The WASD keys move the camera around, as well as the arrow keys. The camera can also be rotated using the Q and E keys. Okay, let's get an overview of our situation. Moving can be done by clicking the left mouse button on the desired location. Do what you can to try to move a little bit further from the crash. Hello, is anyone alive in there? This is Sheriff Reinhardt of Splendid PD. If you can hear me, follow my voice. You think the voice is coming from near the tail of the wreck. And those other passengers don't look friendly, or like they should be even alive. Looks like you'll need a weapon. Left click the suitcase nearby in order to interact with it. Bit disappointed you don't seem to have a range limit, but maybe that comes when you initiate in combat or something. Let's have a look. We're trying to put the fire out to get to you. Keep following my voice. Look for something to defend yourself with, and whatever you do, stay away from the other passengers. How does he know I'm okay? This is the loot screen. The inventory of the character doing the looting is on the left, while the object or person being looted is on the right. Left-clicking on an item selects it. The arrows pointing both ways allow for selected items to be transferred back and forth, while the single arrow pointing to the left moves everything from the loot container to the looting character's inventory. For now, simply select the bat, hit the left-facing arrow to transfer it into your inventory, and then hit the X at the top to close the loot screen. An aluminium bat, lighter than a wooden bat. The second key difference with the aluminium model is more moderate crack is replaced with a high-pitched bing noise when contacting an enemy's skull. Yes, that's the primary difference. And the second key difference. Okay. Weapons are useless unless you equip them. Hit I, or the backpack icon at the bottom of the screen to open your inventory. Where is the backpack icon? There we go. Inventory screen. This is your inventory screen. It shows you everything you're holding, as well as all the weapons, items, armor, and accessories you've got equipped. Right now, well, you didn't exactly come prepared for this. Quite like the list layout. This is a nice desk looking thing with what seems to be almost playing cards. Very nice. Nice and clean. Time to arm yourself. Click on the aluminium bat and drag it and drop it in the weapon 1 slot. Sorted. Now that you have a weapon ready, click the exit tab on the top of the screen or hit I again to exit your inventory. Yep, don't hurry up or anything. It's only a burning wreck. Okay. Burned man, almost dead. Can you still hear me? If you have to defend yourself, hit them before they grab you. Whatever you do, don't let them bite you. Looks like you're in trouble. One of those things is blocking the route between you and safety, and you'll need to use force in order to move it. Hit the spacebar or click the exclamation button at the bottom of the screen to start combat. Ah, there it is. Start combat. And there we have the grid. Okay. That seems to be the order in which we'll take our moves. Okay. This is combat mode. Combat in Dead State is turn-based, and everything depends on the amount of action points you have. Currently tracked in the green field on the bottom center. Over here. Okay. AP are counted both for movement and attack. While moving a single square always costs 1 AP, different attacks cost different amounts of AP depending on the weapon, type of attack, and several other factors. For now, things are simple. It's you versus that staggering thing, and the odds for destroying it seem to be in your favour. Move next to it, keeping a close eye on your action points as you do, and simply click on your enemy to attack. Splut. Oh, yay. When targeting an enemy, there are several values that appear. THC, sorry, means to hit chance, and shows your odds of hitting your target. CS means critical strike, and shows your odds of scoring a critical hit on your enemy for increased damage. Your odds of hitting an enemy increase when you attack from the back or sides instead of the front, so it may be worth it here and there to spend a few action points to better position yourself for an attack. If you're out of action points, don't worry, you can enter, exit and skip turns in combat simply by hitting the spacebar or clicking the exclamation button. Do your best to take out that thing, which I already have, and move forward. When all hostile targets in range are neutralized, combat will end automatically. Ooh, I seem to have looted by accident. Okay. Let's carry on. We've got the fire out down here, but the fire's out of control back there. It's going to explode! Run! Double left click to run. You made it, you're safe now. We're going to get you help. I need help. I've just murdered someone for no apparent reason other than someone else told me to. You wake up to the sound of people arguing. Your body is stiff and you can smell the unmistakable scent of rubbing alcohol. You feel like you've been sleeping off a horrible fever. The last thing you remember is the plane going down. I'm certainly not going to attempt a different accent or a female voice, so food. Who cares about food when we've got the huge hole in that fence? If we don't fix it, they're going to walk right in here. I know, Mum, but who's going to risk going out there? You, me, Joel? I suppose I should be the one to go, being the cop and all. Kinda be nice if someone was watching my back. Not my Renee, that's for damn sure. Let's not panic yet, alright? Okay. Hello, my options. So, very narrative driven so far. Okay. Hello, who are you people? Say nothing. And who are you people? Where am I? Let's say hello. He's up. Easy. I realise you have no idea where you are right now, but you're safe. You're in the basement of a school. Because that's the safest place. I mean, I've just been involved in a plane wreck that I've survived. I'd rather be in a hospital. I'm Davis. This is Anita. You should thank your lucky stars that my daughter was here. Mum. Sorry, that was a bit random, wasn't it? That's Renee, Anita's daughter. Hi, good to see you're up finally. Behind her is Elaine, she's still recovering. And that's Joel. That's me, I'm Joel, Officer Joel. I guess technically it'd be Officer Oswald, but you can call me Joel. Heck, any of those will do. I shall call you Heck. Okay, nice to meet you all. Now, can someone tell me what's happening? This isn't right. How do I get here? I don't understand. What the hell is going on? 2 for me. This isn't right. How did I get here? Do you remember the plane crash? Oh, now that's nice. An option for where's my wife and where's my husband. Interesting touch. What's more? Okay, not really. I can't remember much of anything. It was all a blur. You don't remember anything? Must have been the head trauma. You're physically fine as far as I can tell. I'm not really sure what I can do about the memory loss. I know who I am, I just don't remember the crash. You're in Texas, Central Texas. I have a friend in Texas. A town called Splendid. We're in the basement of the local school. Texas. Oh. Okie dokie. Let's go for option 1. I'm sorry to tell you, but you're pretty much stuck here. We all are. But don't worry, we have food, facilities, a generator, and it's secure. Secure from what? Secure? What does that mean? I don't think you understand. Outside, it's not safe anymore. Everything's changed. You were on the last flight before they grounded the planes. Yeah, my plane was grounded. They were trying to control the spread of a pandemic. It didn't work. Martial law was declared. Shelters were opened. People were evacuated. Those that stayed behind, like me and the whole Splendid police department, all 3 of us, we were just trying to get the last few people out of the area when your plane went down. Most of them were already... You see, the real danger out there right now is... there are things out there. Now's not the time. I agree. Look, this is a lot to take in. Why don't you come talk to me when you're ready? Take your time. Okay. Seems like you survived after all, and you're not alone. Feel free to explore your surroundings and speak with Davis to continue. Left-clicking on a non-hostile person will interact with them. Ooh. Yay, so I can still have fun during an apocalypse. That's good to know. And a stable in a school. Fancy school. Let's see what else is about. There doesn't actually seem to be a school. Just a basement. Okay. Alright, let's talk to someone, shall we? I'll let Davis tell you about what's happening. Right, so I'm given the option to talk to everyone, but only Davis will actually talk to me. Lovely. Think you're up to talking about our situation now? Sure. Good. I'll get the others. They're standing next to us. What I'm about to tell you is going to be difficult to believe. In fact, it's hard to accept even when you've seen it with your own eyes. I'll say. I'm not an idiot. I read all about the virus going around. It's not just a virus. The illness that was going around, it doesn't just kill or make people lose their mind. It might not even be a virus. It's the end of the world! Mum, we don't know that. Please, just tell me. The dead are coming back to life. Not all of them, but people that are bit or killed by them. They seek out and attack the living. From what we know, it's not just here, it's everywhere, all over the world. The third option. Very calm. I see. I mean, it's difficult to believe. Okay, what are our options? Right, let's go with number one. Come on, this is some sort of reality TV stunt, or this is some kind of apocalypse cult. Is that it? You're serious? I'm afraid so. What do we do? We don't know how long we're going to be here for, and the basement isn't really a long-term solution. We've got enough food to last us another week or so, but we're going to need to secure the entire school. Wait, are there dead people upstairs? Is that what you mean by secure? Not yet. The fence around the school was being refinished when the town was evacuated. There's a whole section missing, which... I've seen what's out there. We're not safe. If those things find out we're inside... If we want to move into the school upstairs, we're going to have to finish that fence. It's not completely down. With the proper supplies, we could fix it in a day. Can't get very far. We drain the fuel in the cars to power the generator. There's a hardware store over in Leno. It's a bit of a walk, but it's our best bet. You're going to want to bring back a toolbox and as many spare parts as you can. Getting that fence up is our only option. I know this is a lot to ask, especially given all you've been through, but we really don't have a choice. Does seem a bit risky just to take two people, so... Wait, just the two of us? There's strength in numbers, someone else has to come. We're going to need someone to stay here and help me secure the windows and doors upstairs, but I can't volunteer anyone else. Don't even think about taking my Renee. There's no way I'm letting my little girl go out there. Mum, please. I can take care of myself. And what if someone gets hurt? I'm the only one here with any medical training. Take me if you have to. I don't want to have to fight. But you don't drive a big rig for 10 years without learning how to bust some heads. Fair enough. Oh, no you don't, Mum. If anything happened to you... Oh, I don't actually need a medic at the moment because I'm not bit. So let's take someone who can fight. Anita, you're coming with us. Don't take my mum. Can't you just... Okay, it's decided. You three go to the hardware store in Leno and get a toolbox and all the parts you can carry. We'll secure the school's first floor while you're gone. And build it, apparently. Understood. Let's go. Looks like you'll be heading outside. You don't want to do this unprepared. You don't have the bat you picked up back at the crash site anymore, so you'll have to equip yourself again. Left-click the survivor's bag nearby and loot the contents. Okay, what have we got here? While you're stocking up on supplies, here are some key things to keep in mind about looting. Pay attention to the weight listed on the looting character. That's the amount of weight they're already carrying. Each character has a maximum amount of weight they're able to carry, and once they're at the maximum, they won't be able to add any more. On the bottom of the looting character's clipboard are tags to separate their inventory by item. Weapons used to attack, ammo used in weapons, medical used for healing, armor used for defense, supplies, food, fuel and parts to keep the shelter stocked, and unique items for goals or asked for by certain characters. Once you've gotten everything you need, remember to equip yourself properly. Close the loot screen and open your inventory. Okay. Sham. Let's take a pipe wrench. That will serve as a weapon, hopefully. 6. Noise 2. Okay. Let's go for a kitchen knife actually. It's quieter. What else have we got? Right. Can I take a medical satchel? A toothbrush. What's a toothbrush? Well, I know what a toothbrush is, obviously, but I mean, why is it there? Oh, luxury item. Okay. I mean, do I need to take any of this with me? It hasn't really given me much information. Pork rinds. Okay, let's take the medical... Oh, I took everything. No, I didn't want to take everything. Cack. Oh, let's take everything. See what that gets me. Go to the first floor. Sounds dangerous out there. This... Ah, there we go. Nice big area. This is the first floor of the shelter, otherwise known as Splendid General School. You've got some items on you that are best left here before you go. Head to the room with the shelves immediately to your left, and click on the shelving labelled Shelter Storage. Where am I? Oh, Shelter Storage. There we go. This is the shelter storage screen, a variation on the loot screen, and is used for placing items in the shelter for later use. Since Dead State does not use food items to restore health, you won't be needing any food items outside the shelter. The same goes for fuel, parts, and luxury items. Select all your non-equipped items, then use the left-right arrow to transfer them into the shelter storage. Okay, so... And I did forget to equip my knife, so I'll have to do that in a second. Once they're there, press the stock button to save them in the shelter's permanent supplies for later use. Don't panic at them not appearing. They're still activated. No, sorry, they're still counted in your shelter supplies. That should clear up some weight and inventory space. Close the shelter storage window. So you have to click stock, do you? Okay. Rightio. I'm going to grab that second weapon. Just to give me a few more options. You're a bit better prepared, but still hurt pretty bad. And that looks like it's... And that fire looks like it's growing. Fire? Keep moving towards the direction of that voice you heard earlier. What? That doesn't really make much sense. Has a plane crashed, like, on us or something? Or is that just a leftover dialogue box? Right, so I have no idea what I'm to do now. Let's talk to someone there. Plenty of strange space in that next room to the basement. Storage space, sorry. Let's go talk to Anita, see what happens. What is it, M? I have some questions for you. I'll answer what I can. What would you say your skills are? Well, I'm not the sort of woman that brags especially about things like this, but you don't drive a truck for as long as I have without knowing how to fight. Just have to when thieves come snooping around. Aside from that, I know enough about fixing engines, just enough to get them to start, but I couldn't rebuild one to save my life. Is that the sort of thing you needed to know? Close enough. Let's talk later. Let's see if I can go outside. Might want to equip a weapon. I have equipped a weapon. I've equipped 2 weapons. So, what am I doing exactly? Map screen? Let's have a look at the map screen. Nope. Right, so I have absolutely no idea what to do next. Wonderful. Hi, so are you feeling okay? Trying not to think about it. Oh, I getcha. Way to go, Joel. Sorry I brought it up. You know what? I'll come back. What am I doing? Goals. The goal list is a way that experience is gained in the world of Dead State. Instead of killing, you have objectives to focus on and to explore the world and help keep yourself and your allies alive. I like that very much. At the top of the goal list, you'll see what are known as reoccurring goals. These measure the amount of key items you've brought back and stocked at the shelter, and are consistent throughout the game. That must be the antibiotics, food, fuel, luxury items, and parts. Below that you'll see one-time objective to fix the shelter fence. This objective will remain active until it's completed, at which point it will drop into the completed section. Where's the completed section? Okie dokie. Each time you complete a goal, you'll be rewarded a certain amount of skill points, and after 20 skill points you'll get a stat point. In order to spend these, simply open up your character screen with C and click to distribute them. On the bottom right you'll see 2 buttons, Statistics and To Do. Statistics is purely informational and for your own amusement. It tracks things like miles travelled, food recovered, and so on. The To-Do list covers things that your allies have asked you to accomplish. If you look on it, you'll see the fence task is listed. To-do list. Find a toolbox for repairing the fence at Lano Commercial District. Find enough parts to repair the fence. Okay. While you won't gain any skill points for completing items on the to-do list, doing so can often accomplish important things like boosting ally mood, unlocking helpful loot, and sometimes prevent the death or loss of an ally. That sounds quite integral. That's it for goals at the moment. Simply press G again to close the screen. Or press exit, one would assume. Before you leave, try walking around the shelter and speaking with people. Individuals have their own particular locations they like to hang out in, and it's important to talk with them frequently to find out their wants and needs. Once you're ready to leave the shelter, run out the front door and into the blue-coloured area. That's the exit grid. Every area in the game has an exit grid, which are only places you can access the world map. While you're standing on the exit grid, press M or the globe icon at the bottom of the screen to access the world map. Okay, let's get on and do that. I know I can talk to people, but I would rather see what happens next. Actually get into the meat of the game, hopefully. Although this is pretty integral to the game, and to the experience, being narrative driven, I just don't want to spend all my time talking to people at the moment. Let's check the map screen. This is the world map, the setting of Dead State. Locations are distinguished from each other by the legend on the left of the screen, and you can travel from one place to another with a single left click. Ha! Bison. General Texas Super Restaurant locations. A little nod to Street Fighter there. Before you travel, there are several very important things to consider. 1. Travelling takes time, both to and from your destination, so keep a close eye on the watch on your bottom right of your screen. You must return before 3 AM every night, or your allies at the shelter will feel like you might have abandoned them and lose morale. In addition to this, you and those with you will be fatigued, and any method of travel you use will suffer additional penalties. 2. You must be careful of your resources. While 2 of your travel methods, on foot and on horseback, require no fuel, travelling by car does, and you must keep an eye on how much gas you have left. 3. Be wary of both positives and negatives out in the wild. Good things can be spotted while you travel, like harvesting spots. The higher your survival skill, the better your chance you have to find them. Bad things, like hostile random encounters, can be found as well, but bear in mind not every random encounter will be with a hostile, so it can be beneficial to take a chance here and there. Your current goal at the moment, and the only obvious place to travel to, should be the commercial area of Lano, so left click on the wrench icon representing Lano Commercial and get ready for a long walk. I seem to have located a new spot there. Your party has arrived at the destination in the outside world. It's time to take careful control of yourself and your allies in order to be successful at scavenging and survival. Currently, your main character is selected. You're able to swap between characters by either using the tab key to cycle between them or clicking directly on their portrait. When a character is selected, you can still use C to check out their character stats, I to examine their inventory and equip them, and manipulate their equipped items in the standard combat screen. When one character is active outside of combat, you can right-click on other characters in your party to heal them. Interesting. If you have a medical satchel with enough charges equipped, or trade with them. While moving around in a party, you can hit the J key to toggle whether the character moves independently or in a group, but be wary, leaving a character alone for too long could be potentially very dangerous. To leave an area, simply walk into an exit grid and select the world map, but be warned, any characters who are knocked out will be left on the map to die. Right, quite a big map area. I assume that's my primary destination. So, let's go have a look. The hardware store's right up ahead. We best be as quiet as we can. Looks quiet, but there's no telling who or what's still in there. Understood. Let's head to the hardware store. And I've already forgot how to move as a group. I think it was J. It was indeed J. It's important to note Dead State uses a fog of war system. You will not be able to see enemies until they are within your line of sight. Aha! This can make close quarters, like hallways or high shelves, very dangerous, so proceed with caution. The undead, being as they are, have far less spatial awareness than a normal human, and will tend not to notice you unless you or your allies are very close. To finish this one off quickly, move somewhere close to it, then quickly hit the spacebar to begin combat. Okay, let's move individually. And which way are they looking? Someone in a hoodie. Probably not even dead, just drunk. Oh no, I've just been bit. What in the world happened there? I guess you need to press space immediately. Good to know. The upper right shows the turn order, the cadence in which both allies and enemies attack. This shows initiative order, which is influenced by a character's perception. To switch from one equipped weapon to another, simply right-click the other weapon and select Set Active. While there is no AP cost for switching to a one-handed weapon, there is a penalty of 2 AP to switch from a two-handed one. In addition to this, many weapons have alternate attacks or abilities, accessed by right-clicking on the icons of the equipped weapons. To use an alternate attack, simply select one from the list, and the attack type of the equipped weapon will change to reflect that. Okay. Guns and other ranged weapons will occasionally need to be reloaded. Simply right-click on the weapon, select Reload and spend the AP to do so. Note that you will need to have the appropriate ammo in one of your item slots for this to work. Healing in combat requires a medical satchel to be equipped in an item slot, and at least one charge in the satchel. Any healing costs 4 AP. Characters healing themselves can do so freely, while characters healing others have to be right next to each other. One thing to note about healing: the more you heal in the field, the lower your max HP gets until you rest and recover, so it might be best to hold off healing until it's really necessary. If an ally blocks you in combat, you can switch places with them for 2 AP. Simply right-click until you see 2 hands joined, then click. Note that you can only do this if neither ally is prone or knocked out. Another option you've got for fights are party commands, which allow you to give special orders to your allies. You gain more of these orders as you put points into the leadership skill. Handy. To access party commands, simply click on the megaphone icon at the bottom of the screen, below the AP counter, and select the desired command. Remember, not only do commands have a cooldown time, but only work when you've got allies with you in combat. Let's have a look. Party commands. Go. Does go do anything? Okay then. I don't know. It does seem a wee bit clunky at the moment. I mean, the game has just released after being successfully kickstarted. I think that was about 2 years ago. Okay, let's carry on. In combat, a character can both suffer and inflict a number of statuses. Each one of these can have either a short-term or a long-term effect, and should appear next to the portrait of the affected ally. Mouse over the icon to read about the consequences and how to help. Hovering over the arrow, but it doesn't seem to do anything. Never mind. A status effect of particular concern is infected, which means the character has become a carrier of the undead virus. When they die, they will soon rise as a walking corpse. If a character's health, their hit points, or HP, listed below their portrait is depleted, they are listed as being knocked out, and will lose health every round until they are revived by a medical item. If a character is not healed from a knocked out status, they will die. Please note, if the main character dies, it is game over, so be careful not to put them into situations where death is unavoidable. Ah. Well, that's a bit cheesy, but I guess it makes sense. You are, after all, playing the main character, I suppose. Combat will end when all enemies are either dead or non-hostile, and can be terminated by the player by pressing spacebar. Okay, so let's switch to my wrench. There we go. And it doesn't actually say what the things do. Basic attack, cripple, and wild swing, but it doesn't tell you if there's any penalty to a wild swing or if it's just more damage. Okay, let's go ahead and try and figure out how to attack. Thud. And I've got 2 AP left, which isn't enough to do anything. Seemingly. So let's back up. And he moonwalks, which is handy. Brains. I'm going to eat you again. Oh, well, so he defended himself, that's pretty cool. He's still too far away to do anything. Let's get a bit closer though. And let's hit him again. No, I missed. Once more. And moonwalk again. And of course it takes AP to move. So if I move there, see, it doesn't tell you like how many AP it takes to go to a certain position either, which is annoying. Obviously it's... Why did that take 2? Oh yeah, because it's diagonal. So that should take 1, 5. Alright, yeah, that's a bit of a shame. Okay, let's go next to him. And space. He just wants a hug. You beanies. And thwack. Get some from Uncle Joel. And let's see if we can loot. Apparently I'm too far. Now that you're out of combat, it's time to scrounge around for something to fix that fence with. Containers with loot in them should have small glow near them. To toggle loot detection on and off, simply press Z. Okie dokie. An arrow. Let's take that, just in case. And get our Daryl on. Let's move as a group. And go to the department store. Pressing Z toggles on the little orange boxes to say that it's usable, so that's good. Oh, lots of shelves. Okay. Well, let's go with the room first of all. Ah. Remember, there is fog of war and that door's shut, so I'm going to open it and have a look. Okay. Toilet seems to be clear. And a zombie, okay. But a wounded, slightly wounded dead man, okay. Sorry. Not really sorry. Why can't I move there? It's blue, I should be able to... Oh, because someone in the way. Okay, Anita. Well, that's good to know. Always leave yourself an opening at the door if you expect an enemy to be in the room. I'll show you. Ciggies! And there's the toolbox. Where's the weight limit? Doesn't it say there's a... £45, but it doesn't say what my total weight capacity is. Ah dear. The HUD could do with a bit of tidying up, I think. Locked doors can be opened in one of two ways. If a character has a lockpick and an appropriate level of mechanical skill to use it, they can attempt to pick the lock. The second method is to try and bash the door, which can cause a fair amount of noise. Bear in mind that some doors are too strong to be bashed. Zombie! Whoosh, missed. Wonderful. Ah, and for some reason it came out of combat. That's nice. Okay, with my 5... Oh no, I misclicked. That was a daft thing to do. Never mind. I need 4 to be able to attack, so let's go there. And I missed. Gear off. Ouch. They sure do take a beating. There we go. And no more about. Unfortunately, the icon doesn't change when you loot something, which is a bit disappointing again. Does seem a wee bit clunky. Zombie. Well, that's pretty cool. You do have to manually engage the tactical mode. And you're not told how many moves a zombie can take, so I can't exactly position myself ready for an attack. Okay. And I can't get past them. Wonderful. And I moved too many squares. Whoop. And finish turn. He's getting severely wounded. And for some reason she didn't go all the way. No, he missed twice, that's not good. I'm gonna have to retreat, I think, otherwise I'm going to risk getting my main character killed. It would be nice to finish one mission at least. Nope, missed as well. Let's go for a wild swing. Right, so he can't really do much else, so let's explore, see whether there's any other zombies. And there we go, one less down. Ooh, sledgehammer, nice. And a lockpick, that would have been handy. You would have thought it would introduce things like lockpicks just before you get to the door. I guess it could be random, however. But okay. That seems to be a relatively successful mission. I'm inclined to get out of here while I can. So yeah, standard movement in real time, just being aware of your surroundings, and then you can engage in a tactical combat. So let's run over here into the exit field and to the map screen. And let's go back home. In the bottom right there, the watch indicating the time. And let's see what we've got here. Shelter return summary. Your allies transferred the following items into storage. 3 special items. The following resources were stocked for later use. Food, luxury items, and parts. I'm glad you made it back okay. I can only imagine what it was like out there. pretty much a normal shopping day, to be perfectly honest. Looks like you brought everyone back. Well, that's the first good news we've had in a while. We've been keeping supplies in the back room near the basement. If you have the parts for the fence, you should put them on the shelf, and I'll organise everything for the repairs. We managed to secure the school interior. It's a hold for tonight, but we'll all sleep a lot more soundly when that fence is up. Anyway, you must be tired. We set up a bed for you in one of the classrooms upstairs. Go get some rest. We'll talk more in the morning. Thanks. I could use some sleep. After returning home from scavenging, all consumable items, antibiotics, food, fuel, luxury items and parts will be removed from your and your allies' inventories and placed into the shelter storage. Depending on the amount of time left in the day, you can explore the shelter, listen for any new updates on the radio in Davis's office, and speak with fellow survivors. You can also explore the shelter. Listen for any new updates on the radio in Davis's office, which you've just said, and speak with fellow survivors. If there's nothing more you wish to do in a day, simply head to your room on the second floor and click on your bed to end the day. Well, I think I will do as they say, and I will go to bed. If I can find it. In one of the classrooms. Player's bed. There we go. And go to bed and end the day. Yes. And as I do that, that will end my first look at Dead State. An interesting game. Slightly clunky. A few bugs. But nonetheless entertaining and interesting. I'm certainly going to spend a bit more time with this. Hopefully pass the tutorial stage at the very least, and see what the game has to offer when it opens up a bit more, and get into a bit more of the dialogue choices. I hope you've enjoyed taking this first look with me at the tutorial of Dead State, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you very much for joining me. Take care.